The Grim Tale of Grace Macabre, Chapter 40. The music became more intense, a simple, synthesized theme repeating over the top of a trance-inducing drum beat. The music was designed to make the partiers shed their individuality and move in unison to the beat, creating one giant multi-celled creature that had only one purpose: to become one with the beat. The pulsating creature swallowed up more of the partiers as soon as they filed through the door. Before the track was even halfway through, there were easily 200 people, most from the surrounding towns, all facing the DJ booth, bouncing in unison to the beat. Devin ducked down into the booth, out of view of all those watching. When he reappeared, he was wearing a cat mask that completely covered his head. The mask was abnormally large and spherical, yet, instead of seeming comical, the feeling was more surreal and carnival. The mask was crimson with black ears and large black eyes. Sprouting from behind the ears was a set of long, curved demon horns. Black fangs pierced down from the gaping maw. The crowd erupted in a chorus of cheers that matched the syncopation of the electronic drums. Hey, hey, hey! Without warning, the music stopped. The pulsating crowd thing stopped. All faces were turned toward Devin in the giant cat mask. His voice was changed. It was now a robotic, electronic growl, and it boomed from the speakers.
Hey everybody, it's time. Hey everybody, it's time. Hey everybody, it's time. For what?
The crowd thing answered back in a voice nearly as loud as Devin's, even though he had a microphone and they did not. Devil Cat!
Hey everybody, it's time. Hey everybody, it's time. Hey everybody, it's time. For what?
Devil Cat! The crowd thing responded.
For what?
Devil Cat! Devil Cat! At that instant, the music slammed back through the speakers, and the crowd thing erupted in a roaring cheer. They began to chant, Devil Cat! Devil Cat! Devil Cat! Suddenly, hundreds of bright-colored balloons fell from the ceiling. Grace found herself again, standing at the glass in the balcony looking down on this scene. She didn't even remember leaving Ari's side. She looked up toward the ceiling, dumbfounded as to where the balloons had come from. She hadn't noticed them held in place near the ceiling earlier. The crowd thing erupted into a frenzied, gyrating, bouncing mass as the partiers snatched at the balloons. Most kept dancing, yet some exited the dance floor and found booths, tables, or corners to rest in. All those who had left the floor untied the bottoms of the balloons and began sucking on the air inside them. What are they doing? Grace asked aloud to no one in particular. She kept her eyes fixed on the floor below. The balloons are filled with nitrous oxide, which is basically laughing gas, Salome replied. She got out of her chair and walked over to stand beside Grace. It helps them stay relaxed, helps them forget their cares and worries. Grace turned her attention to Salome. Drugs? She asked. You guys are allowing drugs? Salome shot a glance to the rest of the runaways. No, we have a strict no-drug policy here, Grace. If you're caught using any hard drugs, you will be thrown out. But you're supplying laughing gas, Grace replied. Isn't that just as bad? They're not in control of their faculties. Barbara stood and walked over to the window and looked down on the crowd. Do you really think a breath or two of laughing gas is the same as cocaine or meth? Grace turned to him. No, I don't suppose. We allow the laughing gas because it really hurts no one, he said. It helps them stay relaxed, Salome explained. She brushed a blonde strand of hair from her eyes. Before we started doing this, we had problems with some of the people fighting. That required us to call the police, and that caused the town council to attempt to shut us down. When we introduced the balloons, the drug use and the violence all but stopped. And when we close for the night, they all go away rejuvenated, more at ease and at peace with themselves and each other. It's harmless and eventually beneficial, Barbara said. You see that, don't you? Grace thought about it for a moment. It did make sense. She turned her attention back to the party. Most were still dancing in sync with the beat. Devon still had the devil cat mask on. Many were taking hits from the balloons. All were smiling and having what appeared to be a great time. There was no fighting. There was no aggression whatsoever. Just fun and dancing and smiles and laughter and lust. She did see that too. Yes, she said. I guess it's okay. That's good, Salome said, because now that you're one of us, you get the benefits of being part owner of this club. Grace was surprised and gave Salome a confused look. Ari walked up beside her and said, You see what we do, Grace. We make a lot of money, and now you get to benefit. I don't understand, Grace replied. Ari smiled at her. By the end of the night, 500 people from the surrounding counties will come through this club, Grace. We charge $30 a head to get in. That's $15,000 we will make on the door alone. When you factor in what we make off drinks, that's a total of $27,000 tonight. We are open 3 nights a week. That's $81,000 a week. We split that evenly between us, Grace. Ari paused to let this sink in. Grace didn't trust the math she had just done in her head. Ari smiled and nodded. That's right, Grace. Starting tonight, you begin taking a cut in this. This week alone, you're going to make over $11,000. Grace couldn't comprehend what she'd just been told. After a moment, Ari asked her a pointed question. This is life-changing, isn't it? Grace looked at him and then at the rest of the runaways. As the understanding sunk in that she was now going to be wealthier than anyone in her family dawned on her, she couldn't help but give a shocked smile. It's liberating, she replied. But, Ari, why me? Why so soon after I just met you all? This is happening so quickly. Ari nodded, looking directly into her eyes. We've been watching you for a while now. We knew you were different and could bring so much to our group, our family. Why wait when we know it's right? Embrace your new reality and enjoy it, Grace. Grace couldn't help but think of all the things she could buy with that kind of money. Not to mention that she would be able to remake herself into something prettier and more appealing for Ari. Oh, believe me, she said, I'm going to.